GM. GM Agrobane. GM Yon. Nice to see Positive Yon. I hope Positive Yon came to the brew as well. Just for a Wednesday. Or just for 1 hour. Uh, can we change Yon's name to Positive Yon? Can someone do that?
Hello, hello.
Hey, Winston.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. And you?
Yeah, great.
Nice. Nice. It's a good day. It's a good Wednesday. It has been busy week this week and the past one with all the releases that we had and the releases that are coming actually as well. Hmm. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Lots of quests to review.
Lots of quests to review, but hopefully we have Darth Data running the scripts. We have Dominic Bain and Darwin checking all the manual ones, but expect the manual ones to be. We need to catch up on those. We really need to catch up on those, so that's one thing we will be focusing on. And Jose as well, yeah. Jose has been manually verifying. He manually verified Gasinor and put Newt in the note.
That's a
So,
classic right there.
bro, yeah. That's you need to make that an NFT, bro. Yeah, you don't get that every day. How are you, Dominic, mate?
Doing good. Doing really good today.
Doing good. That's nice. We made you wake up quite early today, 6:30 PST.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. That was an early call we had. White Man, GM. I expect the White Man memes, jokes coming today as well. It's just a here? No, not yet. Carlos, GM Carlos.
I
Wow, thank
appreciate
you,
it,
man.
Kairos.
Yeah, thank you, man. That's super appreciated. Thank you, man.
I don't know if anyone saw it, but I made a bet.
Tell us about the bet, Dom. People want to hear about that.
I made a bet with what's his name again? Jaywalk. I made a bet with Jaywalk, and Jaywalk was saying he was disappointed. And I told him if he's still disappointed by December 31st, 2023, I said I'd eat a sock. So we'll see. Yeah, there it is. Thank you, Calros. Appreciate you. That's an easy dub right there. Where's Jose at?
Yeah.
Oh, Jose is here now. We're good.
Hey guys,
What's up, Jose?
Jose?
man, today is going to be a very cool brew for a lot of people.
Yeah. I think we can get started, right?
Yeah.
Coolio. Yeah. Today we're going to be talking about lore, guys. Lore politics. So if you enjoy lore, this is your brew, guys. We have the lore master here, Jose, the penguin, and we'll be learning a couple of things or relearning a couple of things as well. So yeah, guys, if you're into lore, this is your brew. And We're not going to try to spill the beans on anything, right? Don't make any complicated questions or anything like that to try to get
Nah.
your
Jose,
alpha.
get
I'll
Jose
share
to
Alpha to you, bro.
Get Jose to spill the beans. It's fine. We're fine.
Yeah. Cool. But let's get started. So a couple things here. As always, this is the Atlas Brew. If you're new, we do this every Wednesday in the voice chat at the exact same time. So if you're here now, you want to join us next Wednesday, it will be at the exact same time. Last week we had the testing, escape velocity testing brew, and it was really nice, but we're going to cover that later. Let's start with some introductions. I already asked you, Don, but really quick, how are you, my friend?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling dandy. It's 10 a.m. over here in LA, Los Angeles to be exact. I got my water on my side. I got my Zero Monster Ultra on my right side. I have both my drinks. I'm ready to get started on the Atlas Brew. I'm ready to talk about some lore. And yes, LA.
Well, I thought you only drink Monster Energy. What's that thing called water, man?
That's true. My bloodstream is just Zero Ultra Monster.
Bro, for real, Dominic, you should take it slow, bro, with the monster drinks, man.
All right, we're turning this into what's it called when
J-
someone has a problem?
Intervention?
Oh yeah, this is turning into an intervention. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, man.
uh, and Jose, man, how are you doing, my friend?
Doing great, Santi. Super excited for this brew. It's good to give lore some love. We have a full plate of lore in Never Alone. And today we are going to discuss the whole of lore with intertwining our products. And yeah, super excited. Today's going to be a fun brew.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and lore is super important. Super important. It's what ties the whole universe together and makes you become invested into a universe. So
It's what gives life to the universe. If we
yeah,
didn't have
exactly.
a Lord, then things wouldn't make sense.
Yep.
Things will need an
Agreed.
explanation. Ghost Cat says, I don't even read the human lore. What is human lore? Like history books or
Yeah,
what?
history books.
Human lord is boring. Paratos is cooler.
Yeah, I create my own lore. Agavin, yeah, we need to create our own lore. But yeah, let's get started. As always, we use the Atlas Brew chat for chatting during the brew, guys. So make sure to use that one and not the one that it's in the voice chat. We focus on the Atlas Brew one, which is two chats above the voice chat. So if you want to follow the conversation, but you don't want to speak, we're always reading the chat and trying to interact and take a look at what you guys are saying, even though a good amount of the time you guys are just mocking us, but it's fine. Now let's get into the noteworthy news. So, of course, the biggest one is that Never Alone was released. Any thoughts here, Jose, Dominic, or anyone from the community?
Yeah, I
Do you
mean,
like it?
never. Yeah, I think Never Alone so far has been a pretty good success actually. I think we for like some stats for the people who like stats. I think there's about 2,600 people doing the Never Alone quest right now. So that means there's a lot to manually review. I'm not gonna lie, there is a lot. I'm sure some of you have something that is like 4 days old, and you're like, man, what the hell is Stylus doing? Bear with us. We're getting there. But yeah, I think Never Alone so far has been a big success. I'm actually really excited for it. I think it's really cool, and it's one of those things where like if you're here now, you can get some really cool and exclusive items. We have the Visa Solo ship skin. We have the character for mission one, and then if you wait till the end, you can get Sand as a crew member. So there's some exclusive items that you can get, and exclusive items beginning of a game. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's exclusive
Yeah.
items for just participating in the community and in the products, basically.
Yep.
Mm. And I think it's good to give the community some insights on our objectives as well. In Never Alone, Never Alone is a case study of game theory from our side as well. We are developing a reward system, and at the end of Never Alone, the guilds of Star Atlas and the individual players will be faced with a choice of what's really important for them. So it's going to be very interesting to see how you guys are going to use your memories, uh, what kind of things you guys value at the end, if you guys will prioritize individual prizes during the missions or help support your deck. So yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting on that point. It's also a vessel to share a little bit about the background of the Star Atlas world lore, as you guys have been following Sand's narrative, and this is something that I'll talk about more today. But what we want to disclose is to show you the daily life of someone who lives in the medium zone of Star Atlas. Because you guys, the players, you'll be primarily citizens of the safe zone. You guys will be born under the Council of Peace jurisdiction. You guys will be living somewhat in the shining lights of nearly paradise worlds. But for these bright lights to exist, there's a huge shadow lingering in the medium risk zone. And this is something that we'll talk about today. And another good disclaimer that my friend Dominic has made is that everything that we are going to talk about today is canon. So, yeah, today is a great opportunity for me to finally be able to share with you guys some of the truth about Star Atlas Underworld, especially. This is the focus of Never Alone. And this will intertwine perfectly with every product that we are releasing, and especially with the main lore of Star Atlas, which you guys will have a great taste at the end of the year. So,
Yeah, if you guys are
Nice.
into lore, this is canon. Like you said, this is canon. If you're interested in the Star Atlas universe, the Galaxy Expanse, anything revolving around Star Atlas, if you're interested in the universe, then yeah, pay attention to in this brew for sure.
Yes,
yeah,
yes, yes. I'm
it's going to be
sure
interesting.
Krix is taking notes for sure. So yeah, let's move to the next one. So we wanted to give a shout out to the people who already have 5,000 XP and that they already achieved the first memory glimpse. So shout out to them.
I have
I
an
think we're
image.
posting an image on the Atlas Brew chat with the leaderboard. Congratulations, you guys.
Yeah,
With
Kriggs,
the
Andrew, Perry, Alex, Viles, No, Gladiator, Artie, Core, Mandalorian, Beyond the Horizon, Jai Wu, Strokes, and Agent Solus.
I like
Sure, I
how you
bet you
cut
more.
that off right before I was on the screen. Thanks, guys.
Well, you know what? Maybe get more XP next time, right?
oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Approve that propaganda mission, and I'll be up there.
Yeah, maybe next year.
Yeah,
Uh,
next year. Yep.
Dominic is spicy today, guys. Come
wow,
on,
Dominic
Dominic.
came spicy. Oh my god. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Just
Okay.
kidding. You know I'm kidding. We love you. But yeah. Shout out to everyone. I'm sure there's more people who have the 5,000 XP. They're just waiting for a review. So shout out to you guys too.
Yeah, shout out to everyone. We are going to review manually, as we said at the beginning. We're catching up on that front. We need to catch up. Well, we promised to dedicate some good time to it, so we catch up. But what else? What else? So we had the first search event. We had the first search event during this weekend, and there were some cool prizes that dropped during the search event. And also, when I was trying it out, I was getting more rewards. I was getting more rewards than usual, so it's nice. It was 15x on silver rewards, I think, and 5x on gold rewards. So yeah, it was two Pierce R6 found during the search event, and I think one was found by I saw it on Twitter by Star Fox, one of our
What?
most
Really?
experienced pilots. Yeah,
Oh my
Man,
gosh,
shout
nice.
out to Star Fox.
I bet that felt nice.
yeah, he deserves it. He's
Yeah,
up
for
there
sure.
in the showroom leaderboards for a while now. One of the best pilots in Star Atlas, so it's good to see people like that getting the prizes. You know, people who are
Yeah,
really
no,
pumped.
that's incredible nice.
Yeah. Congratulations to Star Fox, and shout out to the French community. These guys are insanely active. Another thing was that we had the brew last week, and we achieved a pretty crazy thing, right? We achieved at the peak when we said, "Okay, guys, let's start moving." We got to over 8%
My God,
of
look at
the
that
total
graph.
Solana transactions.
You could just see if you guys were here. If you guys were here last Wednesday, you can see that big spike where we were just like, just start moving. We're just gonna start moving here. So we reached 8%, 8% of Solana transactions during that point.
Yeah,
Like
guys.
that is insane. And I just want to reiterate, this is not our final form. This is one on-chain mechanic. So
Yeah, that
It's
was
the power
us.
of community.
yeah.
That
Thank
was
you
the
to
Brew
everyone who
Boys
came.
getting
Seriously.
together to have fun, casually. It was a, I don't know, 5 days planning,
Man.
and the community of Star Atlas showed Solana and the whole world how strong we are.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Exactly. Can you imagine like a DAC war that lasts like a day or
yeah,
however long they last?
yeah,
Everyone-
imagine. No, we don't even need to go that far. Imagine when we have like mining and crafting the next interaction of Sage, bro. It's going to be wild. We'll be like 30% of Solana.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, that
It's
it's
wild.
insane. The stat makes me feel really warm inside. So shout out to everyone who came to the special brew on Wednesday. Seriously.
Yeah. It was crazy, and again, like it only shows what we can do if we just put some coordination. If we just coordinate, it was just reaching out to the guilds, getting everything coordinated, and yeah, it shows the power of guilds and the power of the community.
We
Cool.
had
Let's
fun.
move. Let's move to the next one. We wanted to give Ghost Cat a shout out.
Ghost Cat, yo, shout out to Ghost Cat. I actually really want to give a big shout out because he has kind of been making more Star Atlas content lately, and I just want to give him a huge shout out. He made a YouTube short on Never Alone, and I thought it was really well done. So go give it a watch.
Post it, bro.
Give him a
Go
watch.
give
Give Ghost
give some
Cat
love.
go give Ghost Cat some W's in the chat. Give Ghost Cat some W's in the chat. I'm asked once, asked once. Just one time here.
Yeah, W's in the chat for Ghost Cat. We love all the content, guys. Thank you for producing content for Star Atlas. It's what takes the community to the next level, guys. So shout out to Ghost Cat and all the content creators.
Yep.
As well. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Atlas Theory. He just started a new series called Zero to Hero, and I'm enjoying that content. I'm not sure if you guys are checking that out, but
Oh
it's
yeah, I
great
did. I
content.
actually did. Yeah. No, that was yeah.
Yeah,
Let
Atlas
me
Theory
actually.
is always pushing the boundaries for Star Atlas.
Yeah.
He's awesome. Lots of love to
Yeah,
him.
Shout out to Gladiator. I see you in the chat as well. Your content is great as well. I watch every video. Shout out to our content creators. You guys are killing it. For real.
you guys are
We
killing
love
it.
you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, yeah. Next level, next level. Cool. Also, we have good things coming this Friday, right, Jose?
We do. We have a new Atlas Star, and you guys will be able to see the project roadmap update. And for the people that loves economics and the future of the Star Atlas universe economy, we'll be talking about depreciation and the destruction of value as our main topic. So we are going to talk about how Star Atlas is envisioning different ways to keep the economy of the game healthy by creating mechanisms where we have sinks for Atlas, we don't have hyperinflation and things like that. Make sure if you enjoy talking and thinking about economy and even interacting with the economic gameplay loops of our project, it's worthwhile to give it some reading and check out what we have in store coming this Friday.
Nice. Another shout out to Enigma now for the 3D printed miniatures that you guys can buy from him. I think they're super cool. Super cool. Did you post the link, Dom?
I did. Yeah, these are fire. Yeah, I sent him a message saying, yeah, if you paint these for me, I will pay extra. I do not know how to paint anything, so. But these look sick. I want like every single one.
Bro,
Man,
they
the
look
Tooth
so
of
good.
Ice is super cool, bro.
Yeah. Shout out
Yeah,
to
I need,
Enigma.
I need to get the Tooth of Feist. I need to get the Tooth of Feist. Super cool. Super cool. Shout out to Enigma. So now, anything else? Did I miss anything? Jose, Dominic, or anyone from the community? Anything we need to cover?
No,
Okay,
No,
so
I
now
think we are
we're
good.
good.
let's hop on the main topic then. Guys, today, as you know, we're going to talk about the lore, how the lore relates to the politics. And we have the lore master here. We have Jose. And just as a small disclaimer, this is all canon lore, right?
Yeah, this is all canon.
Absolutely.
Like we said at the beginning, but this is all canon. This is your glimpse into the Star Atlas universe. So yeah, definitely pay attention. And I also want to say like every product and story intertwines in the Star Atlas universe. So Sage, Star Atlas, all the lore stories that Jose writes, like everything is intertangled. So
Yeah, it's something um, that I always made sure to do was to keep the consistency across every Star Atlas product and um, project lore. Everything that we do, it must stay consistent. And I have pretty much contact with every project leader in Star Atlas to make sure that the bread crumbles that we leave along the way make into the future game. You guys, most of you guys have been here for a while now, so you guys have been reading things like the Punab Whisper, the weekly lore updates that we had with the roadmap, the Atlas Star, uh, random publications that we have, and I want to tell you guys that those things, they are like, you can think of them as hints to the Star Atlas future. And Never Alone was the first place where you can see that this connection is very direct and relevant to the game, to the point that some of the quests in Never Alone you can only answer if you know this content. This is, of course, something very simple right now, but in the future of the Star Atlas world, this data will provide you with ways of going beyond the other players in the game. So, for example, sometime in the future, you guys will see how a mini flower looks like. And once you find it in the game, you know that you can't get the mini flower and just eat it right away because it will trigger a reaction to your memories. So this is a small example of how I want the role of lore. I'm going to smoke that flower, guys. That's a small flavor of how I want the lore to intertwine with our project and the different products that we have. And I would like to give a shout out to one member of the Rome Guild because on the very first day of Never Alone, he said, "Man, it's interesting because we see lots loot dropping everywhere in escape velocity, and in Never Alone, the campaign starts with the announcement that the leader of the Council of Peace has started a war in the medium risk zone." And yeah, that's exactly the case. What's happening in escape velocity, the reason why you guys are finding resources, scraps, and things across the galaxy is because the Council of Peace is beating the shit out of the Jorvik and the Ecos in the medium risk zone.
Oh,
So
so the loot
basically,
is being dropped by Jervik and Ecos, you say?
Yeah, like what's happening right now is that the galaxy, the medium risk zone, the place where in the lore of Never of Escape Velocity you guys are flying,
Jose, can
is
you give just a quick recap on like what Jorvik and Ecos are?
yeah, for sure, for sure. I think it's important. Let's start from there then. Star Atlas is the story. The main story of Star Atlas is composed of the three main factions that compose the Council of Peace: the Usturs, the android race, the Mud, the representatives of mankind, and the Oni, which is a conglomerate of alien races. And after a very, it's a dreadful war. These three factions reached an agreement called the Treaty of Peace and formed an intergalactic community that basically seized most of the war power of the factions, created a intergalactic law code, and established peace under their jurisdiction. That jurisdiction only stands to the safe zone. Everywhere outside of the safe zone is, let's say, no man's land at this moment in the lore. But what's happening right now is that the Council of Peace, especially the only faction leader who is the ruling secretary, decided that the medium risk zone is a threat to the safe zone. And hence, he sent the Council of Peace troops to the medium risk zone to pretty much destroy the influence of the Jarvik and the Eagles. So, what are the Jarvik and the Eagles? The Jarvik is a pirate faction born during the period of the Convergence War from dissidents and populations of the high risk zone and the medium risk zone that were left for their own fate during the Convergence War. What happened at the end of the Convergence War was that the factions, they were so strained of resources and manpower and etc., that they pulled the last pieces of their resources to their homeworlds and left their colonies, the colonies that they made when they tried to reach out to Iris. They gave them freedom, like they were no longer colonies, but were left to defend against the darkness of the high risk zone, the pirates, the warlords, the monsters, and etc. And this created chaos, as you guys can imagine. This is something akin to our colonization period in human history, but with steroids. It was a really dark moment for those populations, and the Jorvik thrived during this period, bringing some sort of stability under their their own moral code, which is something that we can talk a little bit later in this brew. The Ecos, on other hands, are dissidents from humankind. There is a very particular event in the Mud history where a Photoli visited humanity, a Photoli named R, and this Photoli promised that humanity would find its destiny among the stars.
Can
And
we say something here?
sure,
Am
for
I
sure, sure.
okay considering R the biggest troll ever in the galaxy because of how he or she trolled the whole mod faction,
Man,
the whole humanity?
R isn't a troll. He has an agenda. You
Okay.
know, it's yeah. I wouldn't call him a troll. I would say that he has an agenda, and it really depends on your point of view whether he's a good or a bad actor. Maybe we can talk a little bit later about Fotoli politics in this brew, but yeah, what R did, he did thinking that this would be the better ending, although sacrificing the human planet along the way. But yeah, We can talk more about this specific topic later. But what we can take from this is that the ecos. I see people asking the chat if players can associate with ecos or Jarvik, and the answer is yes. In Star Atlas, players will be able to to associate themselves with different factions, build up reputation with them, and be part of their faction systems or enter their homeworlds and things like that. Uh, but I'm just giving you guys a very high level overview because uh, each one of them is a world on its own, right? So if I start talking about Jarvik, I'll tell you guys about the story of the first Pirate King, the different rules that the Jarvik faction have for their members, how they don't have a home world, but they have intergalactic fairs where they join each of their ships together and then split at a moment's notice and keep traveling across the galaxy, the different ranks and things like that. Yes, there will be a Pirate King title in Star Atlas,
Wow.
which only one player can acquire.
Luffy?
Something like that. But it's going to be very hard to acquire. You need to overthrow the current Pirate King or something very hard to do that. And yeah, today we are also going to talk about those factions. Especially some factions that you guys didn't know that existed. Like, for example, the Scriptorium of Lumikir, which is something that you guys learns in the lore of Never Alone. But yeah, we'll get there. So for
Can
this
I
yeah, sure.
can I just 1 second? I'm working on some kind of fan fiction myself. So where can I go and kind of get the whole thing on text, like the whole lore up to now, so that I can kind of work on top of that?
Gaby, we have one of the Atlas stars. It gives a good overview about the whole Star Atlas basic lore. Is Atlas Star number 10. And but we have lots of different documents, pretty much like Dark Souls, where players learn the story indirectly, you know. Uh, but we are working right now within the company to compile everything in a single source, and we will release it to the community.
And I'm gonna put
So
the Atlas Star number
Okay,
10 in the Atlas
yeah,
Brew chat for you.
yeah, this would be great.
Yeah, we are aware of the lore being difficult to find, and Jose has been putting some thought into that for sure. But there's a lot of lore being written by Jose. How many pages do you estimate, Jose, that we have in lore right now?
Man, that's a great question.
Released. Like,
Released,
could we write a small book?
bro. I think there's. Let me see. I think that I have personally written more than 1,000 pages of lore at this point.
Wow.
Just me, not counting Matt Madden or the other writers, the ones from Core, etc. So yeah,
And what percentage has been released, you say?
I would say 30%, 35.
So plenty to look out for. Awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And today I'm going to give you guys some insight on that. I have been reluctant to do that because I wanted there to be more products so you guys could visualize more of what we have been doing. But yeah, I guess with Never Alone and the next interactions of Showroom coming, I feel more comfortable with giving you guys more substance so you guys can start seeing how things intertwine and how everything connects to one another. So, yeah, we were talking about the medium risk zone. The medium risk zone, guys, is the most important place in the Star Atlas galaxy right now. For lore reasons, the high risk zone is mostly out of reach from both players and the COP. it's very, first of all, it's very dangerous to go there. After the Convergence War, the supply lines, the bases, the fleets, and the coordination necessary to get there was pretty much disassembled, especially because pirates and the factions and species that lives in the high risk zone were destroying them in order to prevent the Council of Peace and the factions to go back there. So the factions were left with the safe zone, which they pretty much have colonized and are using to the exhaustion. And the medium risk zone, which is a place right now filled with warlords, Jorvik, Ecos, regional powers. It's pretty much chaos over there. And there is lots of things like, for example, from one planet to another, you could be living a nearly paradise, like planet Carvan, which holds the Iris Academy, for example. But you could also be living in a nearly slavery condition that some planets have in the medium risk zone. So today we are going to shed some light on this scenario, and our guiding light will be the Never Alone campaign. The Never Alone campaign started with, as you guys saw, lots of social interaction quests with a small dose of lore. And my idea here was that first, I wanted to build up the relationship between you guys and Sand. Sand's story is a, how can I say it? It's like a photography of the kind of messed stuff that happens in the medium risk zone. From this first interaction, you guys will learn about Sand's personality. You guys learned about some secondary factions. There were lots of quests that involved you guys doing social media work. And this was the basis for the next interactions of quests that we are launching. The next step of this campaign will be more focused on Sand's past, or especially hunting the key to find Sand's past, which will take us to the underworld of Never Alone and Star Atlas. And we want to make it more focused on game, you know. We'll have by then hopefully more game interactions, like we'll have R 2.1, we'll have mining and crafting Sage. So this will create the background that we always wanted to have a proper game. And the key, the most important feature here is talking about this underworld of Star Atlas, and this underworld will revolve around the idea of the memories of Sand. And you guys will see how dystopic the future of Star Atlas can be. And yeah, I don't want to give much spoils there, so maybe we can start going now to fact species politics. I've been
Let's just stop for 1 second to see if anyone has like any
yeah,
questions or
yeah,
anything.
please. That's
In
absolutely
case
right.
like anything related to lore before we keep moving forward. If you guys have any questions, feel free to unmute and ask, or we read the chat. If not, we will keep moving forward with Sand. What is lore? People are asking Jose. Okay, let's move.
Story of the universe.
Mm. Right now, guys, I'll start disclosing the lore um, of species of Star Atlas that we never spoke about. Hmm.
Take notes,
Something
guys.
that, yeah, something that I feel that most of you guys have been looking forward now. The only species that we have given pretty much some insight was the Miris. And on the Miris, you guys learned that They are a species of nomads of the Star Atlas metaverse. They don't like centralized ruling. Uh, they they build their society under the assumption that written language is very limited. So they develop the grand tail and a whole system to pass on knowledge, very particular to their species. And basically, they work like blockchain with the lore keepers being the nodes of their civilization knowledge. And today, I'm going to introduce you guys to some high level ideas about other factions, starting by the Sogmians. Um, can someone post on the brew chat a picture of a Sogmian so we can give people more context here? But the Sogmians, they are a very particular and important species in Star Atlas universe. I was talking with the other writers in the writers room, and from most of us, from our perspective, I would say that the Sogmians might be the protagonists of Star Atlas until the end of the Convergence War. And their species is very particular, starting by their founding principles. The Sogmians, they are hardcore in everything that they do, in terms of being almost fanatic on their beliefs, creeds, and disposition to get things done. They are so feral in their essence that their civilization was, even though they were one of the first alien species to acquire sentience, they were one of the last ones to form a society, because they were so inclined to fulfill their own heart desires and things like fulfilling their passions, that they couldn't form a society because they ended up betraying one another or simply trying to steal things. They couldn't coordinate themselves to create a society.
And how?
Until the
Just
yes, Santi.
oh, maybe I'm spoiling it, but how did they manage to get a Titan done?
This is. I'll get there in 5 minutes. I promise. I'll get there in 5 minutes. I'll get there in 5 minutes. And what happened to them was that one day, one of the members of their species realized that what they needed was a moral system that was so hard, so strong in their beliefs that it could channel this innate energy of the Sogmians into something meaningful to build a society. The Sogmians would never work under a democracy as a species. And what he did was he created the Sogmians laws. The Sogmians laws are akin to what the human philosophy knows as categoric imperatives. Basically, the Sogmian society is organized under absolute truths, absolute rules that don't admit an exception in any case scenario. So, for example, a Sogmian wouldn't lie even if it was to save their mother. This is, yes,
Wow.
only Sith does in absolutes. And when Segal came to this realization that they needed a very strong moral code to keep their people united, the Sogmians took pride on being the only species that could work under such a harsh set of rules. And the set of rules works in 3 levels. The first level is the species level. It's the general rules that every Sogmian must abide for. One of them is like never betraying your family. No matter what they do, a Sogmian will never betray his family members. The second level of this system is that the Sogmian species, they are organized under noble houses. Each Sogmian belongs to one of, or at least he tries to join, one of 7 different families. And those families were the first political organizations that Segal, the first Sogmian, created to organize their species. He realized that different Sogmians had different moral inclinations. And this house system pretty much organized them within affinity groups. And those groups grew with time, and each one of them has a different motto, which showcases the moral rule of their family. And third, whenever a Sogmian turns adult, he must decide for himself a rule and a taboo. The rule is his own personal truth, the things that translates to the external society, what is his personal belief, and the taboo is something that he does if he breaks. If a Sogmian disrespect the taboo that he established to himself, he becomes a pariah in the society to the point that he isn't even considered a citizen anymore. So the Sogmian society is organized under those symbols, and the Sogmians have this so strong in their personality that whenever one of them disobeys the taboo, he by himself emits pheromone that tells every Sogmian that comes across him that he's an outlaw, that he's an outcast.
Bro, they snitch on themselves, basically?
Yes, their guilt is so strong that they can't hide whenever they commit a crime. This is very interesting and powerful for the Sogmian society because they know when they are dealing with someone that can be trusted instantaneously, but it also makes that people are easily excluded from their society if they break their moral code.
Just,
You know?
I have a question. I have a question
Sure,
related
bro.
to this. So,
I share the 7. Oops, that's not the most updated one. Let me exclude.
oh, you.
Oh my god. Sorry. Yeah, go on,
uh,
Santi.
yeah, but I have a question. So we saw Paisu getting
Yes.
assassinated.
Yes.
She was a Sogmian, and
Yes.
I posted the image. If you guys want to read the lore of that, let me post real quick the poster. But so she got assassinated. In the picture that we see, it looks a little bit like it's another Sogmian. I don't know. I'm just speculating here. But in the picture, it looks a little bit like it's another Sogmian that killed Paisul. Does that mean that we know who it was? Because they snitch on themselves, basically.
Yeah.
Am am
Uh,
I am I asking a too difficult question, Jose?
I can't
This is
answer
this
that,
is a deep
but
lore one, bro.
yeah, this is one of the most important points in the Staratas lore, so I can't tell you. But what I can tell you is that the name Buzan is the name of one of the Sogmians noble families.
Oh,
So the reason why it's the Sogmians have Buzan as one of the manufacturers, it's because it's the crafters in the Sogmian society are the Buzan family. And another very interesting thing about Sogmians is that they represent their families in their names. So, for example, Paizu name would be Paizu Buzan. Bekalu name would be Bekalu Shictus because Bekalu was a member from this noble house in the Sogmian lore. And uh, as you guys can see, every family has their own motto. Like the Busan family motto is "Your creations are your path to transcendence," because Sogmians don't believe in afterlife. So the way that the Sogmians transcend in a way is the concept of becoming famous for their deeds, for their creations and things like that. And this is something that's actually very important for the Sogmians. And the way that their society works is that the rule of law in the Sogmian society is not like in the human society. Like, for example, in human society, the laws works like this. If you do the crime X, you get the punishment Y. In Sogmians, this is inverted because no one commits crimes in the Sogmian society because it's easily known if someone has committed a crime. No, the Sogmians, what they do is that if you manage to achieve the accomplishment X, you get Y honor points to progress in the social rankings of the noble houses. So, for example, you 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 start as a young child training in the Sogmians schools. You get to adulthood. You pledge to enter one of the noble houses, and the test to do that is to check what's going to be your after you fight through the challenges. You need to come up with your personal truth and your taboo. You join one of the houses and you progress through that houses through the honor system linked to what your house value at the end of the day. And whenever the kings or the leader of the Sogmian species is open, the leaders of the seven noble houses compete amongst one another to become the new ruler. So Paizu was one of those rulers. She was killed in a very brutal way. The Sogmian species was almost destroyed, and this is partially because of their moral code and how their society is structured. You guys will learn more details about this on core, and that's why in the Sogmian society mind, the best member always become the leader because of their relationships of trying to become the better and the better being chosen amongst the nobles of the noble houses. So, yeah, in the lore of Neveralone, you see members of different houses appearing. And the way that I want to showcase you guys this is that I'll be introducing characters belong to different houses, and you guys will see and discover from their behavior the values of those houses. And it would be really fun to see you guys learning about them organically. So that's the vision for the Sogmian species in Neveralone. We saw, I don't know if you guys saw it, but we had a very two special Sogmians appearing. Mr. Cataclysm, which is the strongest bodybuilder in the galaxy. He belongs to one of the noble houses of the Sogmians. And we also have a mention of Bekalu, sharing the name of his noble house.
So there's a noble house where the leader is the biggest bodybuilder in the galaxy?
Exactly.
The biggest Chad in the
The
Star
biggest
Atlas
shed of
history.
Star Atlas. He's the current leader of his house. Yeah. He's also
Wow.
one of the few guys that goes to the high risk zone at this moment of time in Star Atlas lore.
Yeah, Chad move. Definitely a Chad move. Any questions, guys, on the Sogmians? That was a lot of lore alpha shared. I don't think we have ever shared this before, right, Jose?
No, no,
Yeah.
this is the first time I'm commenting on Sogmian society and politics.
Are you going absolutely rogue here, Jose?
No, no, I don't think too rogue here, no. Not that I asked anyone if I could do this, but it's approved, it's canon, so yeah.
Nice. Approved canon lore right here, guys.
I'll answer Krieg's question. The Sogmian becomes leader of the Oni factions during the Convergence War, basically because they were the strongest species in terms of power, because they managed to build the first Titan ship. The construction of the first Titan ship is the saddest story of Star Atlas, in my opinion, but I'll not be the one sharing that. You guys will learn about this through Core and other publications of Star Atlas. And the Sogmians got so strong at the end of the Convergence War that they basically could make uh, uh, everyone else abide to the rule and decide to create the Council of Peace. The factions were already strained for resources, and when the shadow of the first Titan covered a whole world and destroyed pretty much everyone's fleet, they they decided it was a good moment to settle down and maybe we should talk this out, you know. So yeah, this was the reason why the Sogmians became the faction, the first leaders of Oni. But right now, the leaders of Oni and the whole Council of Peace is Amiris Val Skarga, which is a very important character for the Star Atlas lore, and you guys will be seeing more of him, especially in the main lore of Star Atlas.
Bro, and could it be? I saw Jon asking a question.
Mm-hmm.
Could it be that once Hogman learns how to lie, kind of like as a evolutionary advantage,
Mm.
like evolution?
This is a very
Maybe.
interesting topic. I didn't plan to talk about that, but since we touched on the subject, the Sogmians for they use it to have 7 noble houses. One thing happened in their society, let's say even before the events that took them to the stars, that one of the houses were more open to their emotions. The Sogmians, as you guys can imagine, if you want to have a very rigid moral code, you need to keep your emotions on check, right? Because emotions are a source of irrationality or subjectivity and lots of things that when you are a species that's deeply feral in essence could cause great problems. But one of the 7 houses, they were open to their emotion. And what happened was that this house was breeding lots of villains, people who lied, people who stealed, and people who learned how to bypass the pheromone secondary effects of getting of spilling lies and things like that in the Sogmian species. So they got banished from their planet and they became outcasts in the Sogmian society, the whole house. So there are actually only 6 houses left that are recognized as Sogmian citizens in the lore. So yeah, there goes the reason why.
Nice. I'm reading the chat for questions. I see one from Craig's. Will there be restrictions on what race you choose and what class you can play? Like in World of Warcraft, only certain races can play certain classes.
Okay, I don't. Oh my god. Okay, let's talk about that then. One
Careful.
proposal.
Like there's alignment needed here with the game design, right?
Yeah,
Well,
there's alignment meant here with game design, but one of our proposals as the lore team was to make every single character in Star Atlas have a different vision inside the game. So I'll give you guys examples. This is not future happening advice. This is not financial advice. This is not advice
all
of
in
any
theory.
sort. This is theory crafting, strictly theory crafting. But imagine you are a Nustur. You are a Nustur, and you will have a different vision on your screen than a Miaris or a Punab. So, for example, Usturs will be able to see infrared frequencies that will be able to showcase them, like, for example, that material is radioactive. We shouldn't pick this strange orb that lies on the ground here in the high risk zone. A Miaris would be able to hear better. So, for example, you are walking a planet, and if you have a Miaris in your party, you guys are playing together with a Miaris character, he'll be hearing strange noises, but you guys will be like, no, I'm not hearing anything. And he's saying, guys, I'm hearing, something's weird here, we should move. And then you guys get ambushed, you know? If you are a Punab, you have a keen sense of smell, so maybe some flowers and some resources can only be found by Punabs and things like that.
Do we all
So,
agree that Punabs are the best? I think we can all agree with that,
No,
right?
no,
What do you mean,
absolutely.
bro? They are the most classy ones. They are pure class. One of the best meals. What? What?
bro, come on, bro. It's
Nothing can
illegal
compare to
to eat
Well, I'm gonna have to
Punabs.
agree with Jan here. I'm gonna have to agree with Jan here. Yep.
Bro, what? Nah, there's no way, bro. There's no way. Look at this. I'm posting a
Jesus.
picture, man. This is pure class. This is pure style. This is pure
Bro,
fashion.
bro,
Pure
Punabs are
class,
stylish, bro.
style, fashion. You can see the power in that picture, bro.
Uh, I mean, I'm an Oni myself, but I think Oosters probably look the coolest.
Nah,
But Onis are better.
bro, that's cap. There's no way you just said that. Someone kick
I
him from Oni.
I just said that. Yeah. I just said it. Yeah.
There's no way Signal is laughing at the Punab
They hate
picture,
it.
bro.
They hate me because I tell the truth. That's the
Nah,
issue.
bro. You can't be an Oni like that, man. You can't be an Oni like that. Nah.
I mean, Oni is the best faction. I'm
Sogmians
just
will kill you,
saying.
bro. Nah, nah. Look at Gassiner changing his role to Oni, bro. The most loyal Ooster you have there. That's what Oosters do, bro.
Hmm. But yeah, answering your question, the idea is to have different star atlas for different team members or species members. And this is also a incentive to have players from different species playing together, or crew members of different species in your crew, because they might be able to discover and find different things that some other species won't find.
Nice. Cool. We are at the hour. That was a lot of information. Right there. A lot to digest on the Sogmian lore. I think we should do this more often, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I really enjoy learning more about canon lore that I know and I know is a part of the Star Atlas universe. So learning about the Sogmians, learning about escape velocity lore, Neverlone lore was actually really nice. So appreciate it, Jose. Appreciate your time as always.
thank you guys. No, it was super fun. There's a lot to share. Um, but yeah, I'm sad that because I wanted to share more species, like maybe talk about Fotoli and Tufa politics or systems, if we could call that politics. But yeah, unfortunately, the time is up.
Yeah, we have to hop on another call, but I mean, this means if people liked it, we can do this more often. Like just very, very lore focused and alpha brew. I think the lore is very important. It's literally what gives life to our ecosystem, to our universe. So yeah, cool guys.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts, Jose?
No, I just wanted to thank you guys for enjoying the lore and playing Never Alone. I know some of the quests, social media quests especially, is hard for our most hardcore gamers members, but we are trying to make more game loops interacting with the lore. And thank you all for keeping up with us. We are going to build some cool stuff.
Dominic Bain, anything to close?
Yeah, I had a really good time listening to you, Jose. Seriously, man. I think lore, without lore, like the universe doesn't exist, right? Like lore is the foundation of everything. And it's the reason why people get involved, the reason why people become so interested with the universe. So appreciate all you do, man. I know you work really hard on the lore, and I'm sure the community thinks the same way. And yeah, I'm really interested and excited to learn more about the Star Atlas universe. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you,
Awesome.
everyone. Thank you, Dom. Appreciate it, bro.
W's in the chat for Jose, guys, so Jose can do this again, guys. Love to hear that you guys are loving it. Again, the lore is super important for Star Atlas. As you can see, there's a lot of work being done on the writers team, on Jose, by Jose. So we can do this more often, for sure. The lore brew. And this was the Atlas Brew number 63, guys. Thank you so much for joining and for supporting and for being a part of the Star Atlas community. And we'll see you next Wednesday, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you, guys. See ya.
Later, dudes.